Hello everyone. I'm Aman, co-founder and CEO of Close AI, and I'm back with a video. This time a little bit different. I was actually going through a lot of news and wanted to share some of my own thoughts based on what we have been talking to people and understanding what's actually happening and what we have been trying at our own end. Um, I hope I can add some value with my modest opinion because our entire work is in AI. So, there is this article which I was going through, and even before this article, there is a podcast from Lenny's podcast with Boris Cherny, who is the head of Claude Code. Now, Boris has to say that AI will take over most internet-based jobs, and he's saying it will be painful. I mostly agree to that because I'm not saying those wishful words of, like AI will not take your job, the person using AI will take your job. No, I think most of it is slowly moving into a very autonomous direction, especially when we see something like Claude Opus 4.6, which is performing super well in Claude Code. So I think that's not 100%. I mean, basically, I agree with Boris here. So what he had to say was that AI is going to expand to pretty much any kind of work that you can do on computer. And in the meantime, it's going to be very disruptive. It's going to be painful for a lot of people. For the short amount that I watched of the podcast, he had to say that eventually everyone has to be a product manager. And what does a product manager do? Product manager, apart from the CEO in a company, is the only person who thinks uh, in a fashion who actually knows the vision, understands the vision, and decides what should be built and what should not be built in the product next. So the mindset to build, according to him, the mindset to build for the future is, or for the near future, I would say, is of a product manager. Or he also framed that it will be builders, basically. They'll just be called builders. So that is something that is already happening. Like the product managers who even are like a little bit technical today are already vibe coding. That's their new, process of contributing to the company. So this is what he had to say. And he's saying that it's the thing that I think brings agentic AI to people that haven't really used it before. And people are starting to just get a sense of it for the first time. I would agree that, it gives a little bit of a shock of what's actually happening and what AI is capable of, especially if you are a developer and if you have gone through Cloud Code, used it even a little bit, you'll be really shocked what you are able to achieve within like an hour that you were even unable to achieve before within 2, 3 weeks with a two or three people team, basically. So I agree with all of this. On the other hand, there is some people like Claude who are, some people like the creator of Claude Code, like Boris, who are saying it openly. But on the other hand, you can see Sam Altman is calling that mass layoffs in tech companies are being called as are being basically AI washing is the word he's using. So he's saying, I don't know what the exact percentage is, but there's some AI washing where people are blaming AI for layoffs that they would otherwise do. And then there's some real displacement by AI of different kinds of jobs. So, so this feels very much PR trained. So okay, but I'm personally a believer that yes, the change is happening. There is a drastic change that is happening. But talking about the jobs and the layoffs and everything, this is on one side, but there is a whole different type of market, or I would say a direction that is opening. Personally, we are in the creative AI field. So, what we have understood is that there is a different dimension opening that before there were massive teams and all serving one purpose. But now what's happening is the freelancers of the, you can say the Web 2 phase are going to be mini studios of the Web 3 phase. That's how even I am seeing the change happening because normally a company who would build automations, who would build um, internal tooling, before it had to be a company that was well equipped with engineers, and that too like good. If you're in creative AI, you need ML knowledge. So that was the case some time back, but now that is shifting since already there are SaaS platforms available, and a lot of enablers are already there for you to become AI enabled as a single freelancer or even as a studio. The world is changing in that direction. I personally think that every person is going to be a mini company in the coming time. And I'm not the only one saying that. If you were to go to the request for startups page of Y Combinator, for their spring 2026 cohort, there are multiple requests for startups that they have given. This is cursor for product managers, AI native hedge funds. I won't know much about that. I'm not a finance guy. But this one is very interesting. AI native agencies. What does it exactly mean? So, agencies have always been crazy hard to scale, low margins, slow manual work, and the only way to grow is to add more people. But AI changes this. Now, instead of selling software to customers to help them do the work, you can charge way more by using the software yourself and selling them the finished product at 100x the price. This is the beauty of this changing world. If you become an AI enabled, and let's say there was something that was being charged for like X amount, today you can X by 10, you can sell it at X by 10 and even reach a larger scale. This is the first time I am seeing that agencies can scale, and this is the first time I am seeing that Y Combinator is even considering agencies into their cohorts, who are willing to get AI enabled. This is a very interesting phase, guys. Services businesses has always been the kind of businesses that were looked at like it couldn't scale, it cannot scale further. But this is the first time I'm seeing this kind of a thing. And apart from this, I went through this latest podcast video from Y Combinator's channel. Over there also, they had to say that becoming AI enabled is where the future is. And for the people who are into product startups and would want to do something there, they are eventually saying that like a funny thing, but their statement is sort of changing. They used to say build something that people want, but now they are saying build something that agents like. So they are saying that everything is moving in a swarm agent kind of a setup. What that means is the word AGI gives you a notion that there is a large model doing everything. But what they are saying, and I 100% agree with that, is a little bit different. What they are saying is that there is going to be a swarm intelligence. What that swarm intelligence means is specialized agents talking to each other, doing the work, kind of like what we humans do. Like the way internet became a huge one brain through platforms like Reddit and everything, where we are consulting each another for something and completing a job. Software engineering mostly was that. Before the AI world, it was mostly us researching on Google and then coming up with something. Half of our time was spent on Stack Overflow. So they are also saying that it's going to be a swarm intelligence kind of a thing. And I also agree with that because one brain doesn't make much sense. It's not even well manageable, according to me. But a swarm intelligence definitely is highly manageable. And I also see a world in which a swarm intelligence can become much more productive. It can pan out as a good thing for the human race compared to what the sci-fi version of AI is. But anyways, I'm fully open to seeing what pans out there. But coming back to the AI native agencies aspect, there are some successful companies already there. If you have heard about Superside is one of those companies that have successfully or is already doing successfully. They are creating internal tools that is enabling their team to deliver much faster. On the other hand, you also see monks.com. They have their internal tooling well prepared. But the thing is that these companies are well equipped to still, support the infrastructure of such internal tooling and build something custom. But there's an interesting shift that is happening today. Today, if you were to create something that would assist your team with AI, it can happen super fast. Sometime back, it would, even with AI, it would still take weeks. But actually, today it can be done. Something like this can be, done and prepared within a week or within 2 weeks max, like production ready. I'm talking about production ready, even after iterations. So this is where I personally think today's agencies and today's studios should work upon to sort of create their own stack, and especially locally, if possible, creating their own stack locally. And that's exactly where we enter. What we are doing today is we are creating multiple tools that we think are or can be useful, um, to creative teams, agencies, and studios for creating their own internal stack. Like, it's been some time since the the AI tool setup is has been totally fragmented. What I'm trying to do here is what we are trying to do here is we are trying to solve that problem. So if you were to think like what we are doing today is a stack of different tools that can be used locally as well, and that can be used in a fashion that is much more manageable and can be done in collaboration. Like multiple team members can also collaborate on those things and can be integrated with your existing tool set as well. So this is what we have been working on, and we have been seeing some really good interest in this from the past clients that we have worked with. But this is where I see the future actually is going. If you already have a certain workflow of certain tasks that you are doing, and that is already in a repetition mode with AI, with multiple SaaS tools, now is the time to boil it down into one internal product, in one internal tool. And you'll be surprised how quick and how uh, in a good way can it be implemented, because this sometime back would have been a huge task. Creating a product in itself would have been a huge task, but today it can be done within a week or two. And actual production work, I'm not even talking about some prototype. And this is not only possible because sure, vibe coding, Claude Code is there, but we have our vibe ops, as we like to call it. We have our vibe ops set up so well so that we are able to move fast in this. And we already know, we have understood a lot in the past 3 years of working with such companies and teams. We have understood what is the right user experience, what is the right way to boil down current workflows into usable, reusable tools. So this is something that we have been actively working upon. So for example, this was our recent tool that we built, which is an AI canvas. And this is something which is like a local version of Adobe Firefly. I personally have been using it for my own work as well, that I'm experimenting with locally. And this integrates with Comfy UI. So everything that happens is on your local machine, and behind the scenes, basically, they are Comfy UI workflows. And this is something that you can also expose in your local network and share with multiple team members, artists, basically. So they don't have to get into Comfy UI. In a way, you can build your own. Basically, we can build your local AI stack here, so that you don't have to, purchase like gazillion SaaS subscriptions for getting one straight workflow of some kind of generation up and running. So that's the idea. Overall, if I had to sum it up, I think becoming AI enabled is where the future is. I know jobs are going. I know there is a large, huge disruptive movement happening right now. But I personally think becoming AI enabled should be the first priority today by teams, and we are the ones who are actively focusing on enabling such companies or such people with AI. So let me know if you are interested in understanding this a little better, how we can help you out here. What is the easiest way to get started in this? You can reach out to me on LinkedIn, or you can reach out to me at aman@flowscale.ai. I will be available there. And thanks a lot for watching this video. Do subscribe and do follow my page, and I'll be coming back with similar, even better content, I hope. So thanks a lot, guys. Bye bye.